Immunotherapy Coding Overview. I decided to stick with the immunotherapy theme and answer another question related to it. And the question was, can you provide an overview of how to code allergy shots? I get confused on these. So let me pull up that answer sheet. Now, for those that are new to CCO and just kind of checking us out, a big technique that I teach is called bubbling and highlighting, and it's a unique way of marking up your manuals. You're going to get to see a little taste of that as I teach this immunotherapy coding. So let me go right down to it. I did a little screenshot here, or scanned image. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to have to make this really big because it's a lot of information. Hopefully you can see that okay. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So fortunately, all of the codes are on one page of CPT, so this made it really nice. So allergen immunotherapy is the treatment. Everything in medicine, you normally have an evaluation piece and a treatment piece once they figure out what's wrong with you. So we're going to jump into this picture now where the patient has been diagnosed. They know what they're allergic to. And part of treating allergies is giving you a little bit of what bothers you to help you build up an immunity to it. So these are the different codes on delivering that service. Now, there's 3 pieces to immunotherapy in my mind. And when you start doing this bubbling and highlighting, it makes them really stand out. One is when you go to the allergist office, they're the specialist. They're going to come up with the formula and mix it up and provide you with it in vials. So I call that mixing and stuff, okay? And then when it's administered to you or it's put into your body, that's what I call the stick, okay? So you've got the mixing, the stuff, and the stick. So there's 3 pieces. And if you keep that in mind, that will really help you make coding of this super easy. So let's look at our first bubble here. 95115 and 117 are bubbled together. Now bubbling and highlighting uses the technique of the parent code being bubbled with the indented codes that go with it and any parenthetical notes. So this is a bubble because it's professional services for allergen immunotherapy, not including provision. So that's the stuff, right, of allergenic extracts. And then you'll see the semicolon, single injection, and the indented code says 2 or more. Remember that question from earlier, 95117, I said was for 2 or more. That's why we would never have multiple units of that code. So this is a stick only. So the patient, lots of times payers will want you to go to the primary care physician's office to get your stick. You get to see the allergist to get it evaluated and to get your stuff, but you go to the PCP to get your stick. So if that's the situation, the primary care physician's office is going to use a code from this bubble depending on how many injections you're going to get. Okay? Now the next bubble, 95120, it goes all the way down to 134. Now the parent code says professional services for allergen immunotherapy in the office or institution of the prescribing physician or other qualified healthcare professional, including provision. Okay, so we've got the stick and the stuff. You'll hear me if you've followed me for any time. I don't like a lot of words. I need to make things visual. So when I see all that text, it goes wah, wah, wah. So I have to slowly go through it and go, oh, okay, this is the stick, the needlework, and this is the stuff. And I write that in the margin. It makes it real clear if I'm taking a board exam question or if I'm doing real-world coding for this. So then we look at the highlighting part of bubbling and highlighting is highlighting everything after the semicolon. So in the parent code, there's the semicolon. You have to really hunt for it, and that's why we highlight it so it really jumps out. And then everything that's indented is technically after the semicolon, so we highlight it. And it's just a visual cue that 95125, we're just taking this phrase 2 or more injections and replacing it over single injection. So the full code starts from professional services and goes all the way down to allergenic extract, and then it goes to 2 or more injections. It's just a space-saving convention for CPT. So we've got single injection, 2 or more, single stinging insect venom. So you do need to make a differentiation if it's a stinging insect venom. Then we get real fancy, 131. It's 2 stinging insect venoms. So I had to kind of noodle on this a little bit, and then I realized, oh, okay, it's 1 stick, but there's 2 venoms in the vial or in the dose, okay? And then 3 stinging insect venoms. So it's 1 stick, 3 venoms. 1 stick, 4 venoms. 1 stick, 5 venoms. Okay? So this is a stick and stuff bubble. All right? Now we're going to move on. 95144. This is professional services for the supervision of preparation and provision. So it's the mixing and this giving you the stuff or the product. Okay? So this one is just a single dose vial, and we're told to specify the number of vials. We go to the next column. We've got another mixing and stuff bubble, 95145, professional services for the supervision of prep and provision. Again, that's my mixing and stuff, and antigens for allergen immunotherapy. So this one is the stinging insect venom. So you can see how it kind of matched up with that other bubble. So this is 1 dose 2 venoms, 1 dose 3 venoms, 1 dose 4 venoms, 1 dose 5 venoms. Okay? So that's a mixing and stuff bubble. Then we have one more mixing and stuff bubble, 95165, professional services for the supervision of prep, that's the mixing, and provision, that's the stuff, of antigens for allergen immunotherapy. Single or multiple antigens, and then 170 is whole body extract of biting insect or other arthropod. Does not sound like a fun thing to be allergic to. Okay? So that's how you break it down. So when you think about this, you can't double dip. Okay? So you can't code a stick only, a 95115 for example, with a stick and stuff, because then you have 2 sticks. You're double dipping on the sticks. Okay? So you can only use this when it's by itself. Okay? 95120 is a stick and stuff. You can't code one of these with a mixing and stuff, because then you're double dipping on the stuff. Okay? So keep that in mind. So we've got 3 mixing and stuff bubbles. However, could you code a 95115 with a 95145? Yes, you're allowed to do a stick only with the mixing and stuff, because there's no 2 words that are the same. So hopefully that will make that easier for you to figure out. And I did put that for the replay clubbers, you know, the don't double dip reminders. You know, if you're reporting a code from stick and stuff, like the 95120, don't code a stick only. You got 2 stick words there. That's double dipping. If you're reporting a code from stick and stuff, and then you don't want to code a code from the mixing and stuff, otherwise you're double dipping on the stuff. And a stick only can go with the mixing and stuff, because there's no double words there. So I think I was in a silly mood. Get it, got it, good. So there you go. That's it for your allergen immunotherapy overview.
Do you need more medical certification training? Go to www.cco.us. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for updates.